It's all integrated there. And then it's all got the tracking and helps them to say manage fraud, right? They mentioned fraud, which in turn helps with insurance costs, right? Drives the insurance costs down if they keep the fraud down. And I guess because they're monitoring the hours and and the fuel consumption and all of that, I mean, they can't just claim it on their little grid paper or whatever.
Growing a business requires a holistic approach that extends beyond sales and marketing. This approach needs alignment among people, processes, and technologies. So if you're a business owner, operations, or finance leader looking to learn growth strategies from your peers and competitors, you're tuned into the right podcast. Welcome to the WBS Podcast, where scalable growth using business systems is our number one priority. Now, here is your host, Sam Gupta.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's show. And if you're joining for the first time, this is part of our industry series for which now we meet at 2 o'clock Eastern. And I think I need to fix this on the ticker. I still have my 5:30 p.m. here. So we'll get that fixed. And as part of the series, we typically have one of the vendor or the solutions that we review independently. And today we have a very interesting solution. And Andy's probably going to have a joke about this because this sounds like a murder movie name, I guess. Motive!
Well,
Good to be excited.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's a very interesting name, and I don't know why they came up with this, but it does sound very interesting. And I don't know if you are able to guess.
It sounds rather threatening, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
What is your motive?
Exactly.
What is your motive?
I know.
To
Let's
sell.
do an independent
Simple
review
motive.
on your motive.
Andy, simple motives to sell.
No,
Why?
to help. To help and
To
educate.
help.
my
Okay,
friend.
got it. Okay, got it. Okay, they are trying to help. All right. So we have Motive here. We are going to have a lot of fun with them. But before we do that, we are going to start with everybody's intros. I'm going to start with my quick intro. Sam Gupta, principal at Elevate IQ. Elevate IQ is the independent ERP and digital transformation consulting firm. On that note, Andy, can I ask you to introduce yourself next?
I would love to. Thank you so much for inviting me, Sam. I've been involved in ERP software for manufacturers all my life. My motive is to help companies evaluate and uncover the truth about ERP systems before they buy. I'm completely, as Sam knows, I'm completely objective. And if you need any advice or suggestions, I'm always a great ear. Thank you, Sam.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Andy and Dan, do you want to go next?
Sure. So I'm Dan Aldridge. I'm the director of North America for Partners to Innovate. We are not tech agnostic, actually. We do one tech, ERP software from Infor Global Solutions, which is an American competitor of SAP and Oracle. And our customers are almost all manufacturers, some distribution, but also mostly manufacturers. And I've been doing ERP and enterprise software since longer than I care to say, 25, 30 years. And also I am Sam Gupta's partner in crime on the ERP Doctors podcast.
Okay,
Well,
amazing.
if you've been in this business for 25 or 30 years, Dan, how is it you still have beautiful hair?
It's white. Did you notice it's white?
Well, mine's white too, but it's not really white.
I'm not like Sam. I'm not a young guy.
No,
like
Sam
I mean,
is
it's all
gorgeous.
diversity. We need to have different kind of hair.
Exactly. This gives me my seasoned look that makes me very reputable in the industry because I have white hair.
Exactly.
And guys, my motive was not to have a ticker for you, Dan. I think I mentioned that last time, but it's not moving. But I'll try to fix that next time. Apologies for that. So today, I think we are going to have a lot of motive jokes. All right, guys. So I'll start with the quick briefing if you guys are ready for that. If we get any questions from audience, we'll be covering those. So this is part of that supply chain bucket. We have been reviewing a lot of supply chain technologies Motive would, in my mind, would be part of that as well. So overall positioning, number one, I mean, they are one of the hottest SaaS app as well. The way I believe Andy, Dan, Jen, I think you were as part of Service Power. I don't think you were part of Service Titan.
No.
Service Power is not necessarily. They are not necessarily in that Cloud 100 list, I guess. Service Titan definitely is. Motive is again one of the hottest, one of the highest valued, SaaS app at this point of time. They are typically trying to solve just one problem in the enterprise software stack. Motive is doing that as well, just like Service Titan. So, Andy, they are going to be as hot. They are going to be as cool. Now, they have a little bit of different play. So overall, from the bucket perspective, if you look at especially if you are analyzing the supply chain suite, inside supply chain suite, you are going to have the operational technologies, which is going to be your WMS and TMSs of the world, and then you have the analytics as well as network. So this fits in that TMS sort of bucket, and their role is going to be more from the compliance perspective. So now, are they real enterprise software because they have a little bit of more play? They have hardware component as well in this. So it's very, very, very hard to determine in terms of who they really are. Are they part of enterprise software or not? But for the most part, the reason why they exist, and that's why I really wanted to have Dave today in this session, because he was really excited about this whole ELD mandate. And I don't know whether you guys are familiar with ELD, and ELD stands for, Andy, I don't know, these are the
electronic logging devices.
Yeah. So there was a mandate, I believe, in 2017 in the US. In 2022 in Canada. Canada was a little bit late, and because of that, they have increased substantial requirements for compliance, which kind of helps drivers, the community as well. But it does increase a lot of work for companies that are going to be maintaining their own fleet. So the whole reason why these guys really exist is because of ELD mandate. They created a category which could be harder, and most of the enterprise software that we have in the market, including the majority of the TMS solutions, they could not develop this functionality as fast. They could not provide the same adoption that these guys are able to do. So there are a lot of different layers in terms of what they are doing, but you have compliance such as HOS. And Andy, if you remember any of the reviews that we have done for a lot of different TMS systems, you would hear term HOS, which stands for hours of service, I believe. This was always a challenge for transportation companies to get inputs from your drivers because they hated timesheet entries. Nobody likes them, I guess. But
everyone thinks it's Big Brother. That's why.
Yeah, and drivers actually hated a lot more. And because of that, I mean, the whole payroll process was all over the place, I guess. It was never accurate. They required a lot of follow-ups. So companies had to hire a lot of people just to follow up. Hey, give me how many miles you have driven, how many hours you have driven. And that's why the transportation business was very complex, financially, operationally, with that coordination. So now they can do a lot, thanks to ELD. They are able to do a lot of this data automatically. So that's helping from the finance perspective. That is also helping from the compliance perspective. IFTA, CSA, all of these are compliance standards that are there. You have a lot of regulatory requirement and you need to submit for that. So again, these guys are providing a lot of this data directly right from the app. We'll have some screenshots that we have captured in terms of how they do that. But since they have this data, that's why they are able to do that. They have also introduced technology, and here you are going to see very similar trends as our friends at Shopify. Shopify really wanted to get into the payments play, and then might not remember because I don't think Service Power had the payment play. Service Titan did have the payment play. They had their own payment platform that they are trying to integrate so that, number one, your equipments are going to be financed. Number two, anytime you are going to have quote, so you can pay using that. So everybody's trying to do payment play. And the only reason why they are doing that is because they want to make cut from your transactions, and that creates a much bigger friction than simply selling technology. And that's why every single company out there, especially if they are going to be funded by very large private equity, they all are trying to create payment play somehow. And that's why Motive Card is really handy. Motive Card is going to give you discounts from the fuel perspective. So you are using, just whenever you want to buy fuel, you are using Motive Card, and think of how much alignment that you are creating. I think I'm going to use the word alignment. I don't know if barrier is the right word. It has a little negative connotation. So I'll probably use alignment. So, but what you are trying to,
Loyalty.
what's that?
Loyalty.
Exactly. I think loyalty is probably a better term. Exactly. Loyalty commitment is probably a better term. But I mean, from the business model perspective, obviously you are creating barrier. And it's going to be much bigger barrier to entry in general. So Motive Card, that is helping with the fuel shopping, that is helping with the insurance purchase. There are a lot of different layers, that they are able to produce. And obviously that they are going to do lead generation for the other companies as well, because now they are holding the data, the transactional workflow, which is very powerful in my mind. If you guys have comments, I can take those or I can keep moving.
No, this is
Keep
great.
moving.
Okay, so now they have introduced AI camera, and Dan knows how hot AI is. Every single company out there, exactly. And every single company out there, including the hardware companies, are trying to introduce AI capabilities. And here, AI has the real life use case, which is going to have advantages for a lot of things that we'll be discussing a lot throughout this presentation. This is almost like life saving, the kind of use case that they have. To be completely honest, that's why this is so powerful. So AI camera, and again, I mean, they are able to process a lot of data. They can do a lot of things on the fly, and I don't know how they do it, but whatever they are doing it in such a small device in that camera, it's just powerful. It's just mind blowing. I don't know if they have the real AI logic sitting in the camera. For the most part, I think they must be using APIs, and they must be sort of getting the data back and forth from the models. That would be my understanding, but I don't know if they are doing anything on the fly. But yeah, I mean, real use case. The real use case is going to be really around driver safety, which has been a major topic in general. There were a lot of issues before this. What else do I have? Competing technology. So I don't think we have reviewed any of these, to be completely honest. So we might be reviewing some of them in the future, because we are just touching the TMS space. So their competitors are going to be Samsara's of the world, Lytix, I guess. Verizon is in this space. Can you believe this? So Jan, I think we reviewed one technology from Oracle, and they were trying to do a lot of Industry 4.0 play. So this is where your telco play is. So now telco is competing with enterprise software. Can you believe this?
Yeah. Big crossover.
Yeah. And then we have fleet management. Fleet management was always a very religious topic in general. So we have technologies such as Fleet Complete, which is probably I would say they are probably the most comprehensive in this space. Their technology might not be as modern, but from the functional standpoint, I guess a lot of decent sized transportation companies, they use fleet management to manage this. And Andy, for your reference, I guess, so in this particular case, you are going to have number one, in-house fleet maintenance, right? A lot of different TMS systems, they don't necessarily accommodate the in-house fleet maintenance, even though they call themselves TMS. Some ERP systems may have the fleet maintenance capabilities as part of that, especially if they are doing the proof of delivery workflow, if they are doing the scheduling, on the field. For example, if you look at Epicor Eclipse, if you look at systems such as GCOM, they have all of these route accounting, route scheduling process. These are going to be relevant in industries such as your electrical HVAC. They are going to be relevant in food and beverage, and that is the problem that your service power, service titan, they are trying to attack in general. So in fleet complete workflow, or the use cases that we are looking at, you are going to have two or three different workflows. Number one is going to be the whole fleet maintenance. Number two is going to be the preventive maintenance. And Andy, the reason why I'm talking to you right now is because if you look at Infor used to do a lot of business in the asset management space as well. So if you look at Infor EAM, which is not part of Infor
Yeah.
now,
Right.
They were doing a lot of business with the transportation companies, but the only thing they could do is the asset management piece. So the asset management, preventive maintenance would fall under this particular category as well, which is going to be your in-house fleet maintenance. Then you are
Exactly.
going to have asset maintenance. But in this, the asset maintenance is very different, because not only you are doing the actual maintenance of the asset, but you are also literally reading data from the engines, and based on that you are doing the asset maintenance. So that's where another frictional loyalty, whatever name you want to use, but these guys are able to do that. They are literally sitting inside the engine, which is where they are getting the operational data. They are able to do asset maintenance. They are literally a part of that operational workflow that is giving them a lot of different data sets. So that's the fleet workflow. So Fleetio is probably the newer SaaS player that is there, and OnFleet is going to be another one that we will be reviewing soon. If you guys have comment, I can take those, or I can keep moving. Comments? Okay, here I think one of the terms that they have coined is called physical operations, that I don't think we have seen anywhere else. So physical operations that they are using for industries. In my mind, I think they are talking about the industries that are going to have some sort of fleet. When you look at mining, construction, agriculture, transportation, and these are the same verticals even companies such as your Trimble are going to target, because again, they are targeting companies that are going to have either some sort of fleets, or they are going to be in that transportation market. So again, mining, construction, agriculture, transportation, public sector maintains a lot of fleets as well. That's why public sector is listed there. Field service generally are going to have a lot of different fleets. Oil and gas, very, very, very common to have these fleets, and they are going to have very similar business models just from this perspective, not the other layers. AI camera, I already pointed out that this is happening from the driver safety perspective, that we are going to review the stories. So this is very powerful. I don't have any other comments here unless you guys have. Okay, I'll keep moving. So these are some of the press releases that they have done in the past. So here, by the way, they used to be called Keep Trucking. That was their old name. So now
That's
they have
straight
changed.
out of the '60s,
I was gonna say
right?
that sounds like when I was a kid.
Yeah, keep on trucking.
Yeah, keep on trucking.
So they
Sam
are
wasn't
really,
even born then, so
no,
Sam,
you
no,
wouldn't
no,
remember.
no, no,
I
no.
don't even know what that is.
No.
I cannot follow it. Guys, so these guys are really into interesting names, I guess, right? So Keep Trucking is very interesting. Motive, I have no idea what that means and why they would choose that. It's very interesting, and I don't know what they are trying to do from the corporate strategy perspective. Motive makes no sense. But I mean, it's memorable. It's almost like Apple, which could be the driver. So this is good. So now, obviously, I mean, they are. So initially, when they were Keep Trucking, they were referring them as fleet management company. But I think there are layers to this, right? So they are not necessarily fleet management. They are more into compliance category, even though they are going to have some fleet management functionality. But as such, they are not necessarily into that fleet management business, just to be clear. Said today it will use Umbrella AI, I guess, processors in its dashboard camera to monitor both road conditions and truck driver awareness. So the description is accurate, I guess, but they are definitely not into that fleet management business. Keep Trucking will use the chips in AI-cam. So they were using, and I think this story is from what, 2015-ish, 16-ish, and at that time they had AI chips, which is mind blowing.
Surprising.
Yeah. Go ahead, Dan.
No, I was just looking up there. I saw 2021 underlined, but
Did you see it?
doesn't really matter.
No. Yeah.
Keep
2021.
trucking.
Sorry. Yeah, you are right. You are right. So this is actually from 2020. Thanks for noticing that. Okay. So I was
My
thinking
eyes are going, but I did pick that up.
Yeah. Thank you. No. This is from 2021, but even 2021 for AI chips, I would
Still
say.
pretty good.
Yeah. So this is very interesting. So here they are. So AI dashcam is connected to the Keep Trucking vehicle gateway, which uploads the pre-analyzed data. Okay. So they are connecting to a gateway and they are uploading pre-analyzed data, video, and still images to Keep Trucking cloud-based fleet management software in real time. So it does seem like, based on this description, that they are trying to analyze in the chips which is very powerful, to be completely honest. If they are able to do that in that tiny chip. Um, and seems like they are doing something there. They are saying image signal processor, which provides 1440p resolution, HDR video across all lighting conditions while utilizing. And again, you are capturing these images, on speed, which is very hard in general. So they are able to do a lot. But again, this is very hardware-centric play in my mind.
And
Keep talking.
they got almost $500 million from Google Ventures. That pops out. Those guys are no dummies.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like this is hard, man. This is hard. I mean, they have like what
It
2,500
is.
employees. Yeah, so this is, and that's why they are part of that Forbes, 100. So this is definitely a big deal. I think they probably are market leader in that ELD compliance space right now. They have a lot of customers. Yeah, crazy success is what I can tell you. Yeah, so they have what supports around what 400,000 trucks. I don't know how many trucks are going to be there in the US or Canada, but 400,000 is a lot. I would say the average $40 million company is probably going to have like what 20-30 trucks.
40
That
million company, did you say?
yeah.
You mean logistics type company?
Yeah, transportation companies. I mean, how many trucks they are going to
Transportation?
have?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they do utilize a lot of owner operators as well, but in general, I think that's probably what they would have. I don't think they're going to have more than that. Even the bigger companies, I don't think they are going to manage like 500 trucks.
Well,
Generally, the transportation is very
400,000
outsourced.
is just,
Yeah.
over the moon.
Yeah. So here, I don't have anything else that I want to hit on. No, I'll move to the next one unless you guys have any other comments. So this is 2017, I believe. And guys, if you notice anything else, please let me know. So no, this comment is coming from 2017, I believe. So they are saying since 2017, we have seen thousands of Canadian fleets, trust us to help transform their operations. So this is the testimonial. With full enforcement of the Canadian ELD mandate set for June 2022. And I think Dave had this question last time in one of these sessions. Canada adopted this in 2022. So fleet must adopt ELD technology as soon as possible to help improve driver safety. And again, these drivers are from driver safety perspective and prevent. And by the way, these evidences are submissible in the court, which is generally not likely, especially if we talk about video camera. But they are definitely using this to protect drivers. Again, a big deal. Safety and prevent both costly fines and operational disruptions. ELD providers must undergo rigorous testing with an accredited third party in order to verify their technology meets Canadian specific technical requirements. So there's a lot of compliance requirements. You have to report a lot. And again, driver fatigue is one of the drivers why this is happening. By passing this extensive vetting process, fleets operating in Canada can continue to feel confident relying on Keep Trucking to meet their ELD obligations, which is the primary driver why this technology exists to begin with. They have some more commentary here that I want to touch on. So it offers Canadian specific functionality such as deferral of hours, yard move in personal conveyance limits. That's very interesting. I don't know. I didn't realize that they had compliance limitations there as well. Yard move generally is very isolated function in transportation companies, but seems like they have some requirements there too. Automatic cycle switch. I've never heard that term before. Alberta cycle rules. I don't know what that is. Yeah, then they have the language support. This functionality deepens. Keep trucking. Okay, so they are talking about HOS violations. Obviously, that's a big one, and companies are spending a lot of time in reporting these things. So obviously, that's a huge value. Now, more than 115,000 customers. Can you believe this, guys? Crazy number of customers. And in general, the transportation industry is very fragmented. So that's why they have a lot more customers. A lot of them are going to be owner operators, and sometimes they have just one truck or maybe two trucks. That's how small a company could be. In the 1 million drivers, trust Keep Trucking industry leading technology to not only make compliance easy, but to proactively help them get ahead of violations, avoid downtime, and prevent accidents in one fully integrated platform. Now, some of the areas that they are trying to hit, number one, obviously, is compliance. Then you have driver safety, telematics that we have seen with Trimble as well. So in my mind, they are always in a Trimble's space. And tomorrow, let's say if I were to forecast, okay, who they are going to exit to, in my mind, Trimble is probably going to be a natural home for them. But let's see how this goes. Or maybe they can acquire Trimble, who knows? Because they are going to be so big. Okay, so then they have maintenance. Maintenance, I don't know how big that is going to be completely honest. So this is not necessarily the maintenance. It might do basic things from the maintenance perspective, but it is not necessarily a maintenance software. Motor fleet card, so that's very unique offering. That's very unique to these guys. Dispatch, nope. This is not meant to be the real dispatch. Dispatch gets very, very, very complex. I don't think a trucking business can manage their dispatch function inside this, and that's where you are going to see a lot of overlap in general in capabilities. Dispatch is supposed to be a critical success factor for transportation industries. If you cannot fix your dispatch, then you are probably going to have a lot of problems. And again, this software is not necessarily designed for dispatch, even though they are claiming that. Sustainability, you have to have sustainability in 2024, or marketing material cannot be completed, just like AI.
Gotta have your ESG.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, again, these guys, no, sustainability, no, I don't really see. I mean, yes, sure, you are going to have some layers to it, but again, that's not their core. ELD compliance is their major benefit. IFTA fuel tax reporting is major benefit. And again, IFTA fuel tax reporting we have seen with some of the other TMS systems as well. GPS fleet tracking is there, but I don't know if this is going to be a true replacement for what Trimble is able to do. In my mind, Trimble would be able to do a lot more because they have a real TMS. This is not meant to be a TMS. It's meant to be slightly more compliance, app, not a real TMS. Equipment monitoring, again, you are getting into slightly more asset management space. There could be a lot of financial workflows as well, including rental. These guys are not into that. You might do a little bit of equipment monitoring because you are getting data for your compliance function, but you are not necessarily into equipment monitoring business. Wi-Fi hotspot, they have that just to support their apps, but again, they are not selling Wi-Fi hotspots here, I guess. Reefer monitoring is very food and beverage centric term. That is supposed to be the temperature monitoring. When you are going to have the refrigerated fleets, you are monitoring those. So that's very critical piece of functionality. And they are able to do that. AI Dashcam, AI Omnicam, they all are part of the same workflow, driver experience. Yes, the mobile reporting is there, which is part of the same workflow. And that's it. The industries that they have are very similar: construction, public sector, trucking and logistics, field service, oil and gas, food and beverage. And these are the industries that we have already touched.
Sam, does that say reefer monitoring?
Yeah.
They're into marijuana?
They are, it seems like.
Sharp
Yeah.
eyes.
Now they are in cannabis. I mean, I don't know why they don't have cannabis industry there. Right, Andy?
Maybe that goes with the keep on trucking.
Now it's starting to make sense. Yeah.
Together.
And that's why they have motive, right? So we are.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh, it's a triumvirate.
Yeah, it's all connected. It's all connected.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is coming from 2022. So we are advancing here in terms of timeline. So Dan is right. That was from 2021. So 2021, this is 2022 right now. This is where they have changed name, to Motive. And then they announced that Motive has launched the automated operations platform. Everybody is automated operations platform, whatever the hell that means, I guess.
Well, it's automated.
It's
an
automated.
operation platform that's automated.
Operations, operations is critical, Andy. You need to automate your operation.
I'm not just good looking, Sam. I'll tell you.
You are very good looking, Andy.
I'm sorry.
Wow, did I walk in on something?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
By the way, with AI camera, Andy, you are going to be even better looking. I can see you can see the pictures here. They have everything to make sure that you are going to be good looking.
There
But
you go.
we are also going to look at one of the features that they have. It's called privacy ND. So if you want to do your business inside your truck or car, you can literally cover your cam. So you have that flexibility as well. Okay, I'll keep moving, guys. I mean, this is too funny, I guess.
Come on, humor's not funny anymore.
Humor is not funny anymore. A combination of IoT hardware and AI powered applications that connect and automate physical operations. So they are talking about the AI camera, I believe, founded in 2013. Obviously, it's very new, guys. They have been in the market for literally what, 11 years now. It's massive success. Motive builds in 2013 they started. 2017 ELD mandate in the US. So you can believe, how powerful that mandate has been for these guys. And generally, like private equity, they are tracking these things, and that's how they are coming up with these opportunities. Motive builds technology to improve the safety, productivity, and profitability of physical operations. While its early customers were trucking companies, today Motive serves a broad range of industries across the physical economy, whatever the hell that means. Okay. So physical economy, meaning you need to have your internal fleets, is what they are talking about. Now they are talking about launch the automated operations platform. Again, the same term they have used. We have seen these similar terms used by platforms such as ProShop. They are talking about what, manufacturing ecosystem, I guess. Manufacturing ecosystem, automated platform. So it's always fun with these things. Then we have IoT hardware and AI powered applications that automate vehicle and equipment tracking. So I don't have anything else here, I guess. I'll keep moving.
So would you say this product competes at some level with EAM?
Nah.
No, not at all.
They will sit together in my mind, depending upon how big the company
Okay.
is. So let's say if you're looking at very basic asset management workflow, then these guys might be able to do it. Let's say if you are a 1-2 truck shop, then I don't think you require asset management, to be completely honest.
No, of course not. Yeah.
Right. So that's where I guess that these guys may be able to do that, but I mean their goal is not necessarily to have the whole enterprise grade asset management workflow. The compliance is far more important for SMB, and that's why they are in that SMB space. The asset maintenance is going to have problems, but not as big as compliance, because you are going to be penalized substantially if you are not doing accurate reporting here. This is fairly serious.
Isn't it the EIM also is more geared towards fixed assets, I guess, as opposed to this is seems to be strictly or focused mostly on trucks, fleets of trucks, and then all the, I guess, the hardware and the IoT devices and all of that thing all in one. It looks like they even provide like those little sort of iPad looking devices and stuff like that. They have the whole thing. It looks like with certainly with the AI, it would be more than the EAM would provide, I would think.
So then just to touch on that comment, I guess, depending upon how you define fixed assets, so the truck and the buildings and facilities, they all are going to be fixed assets.
Right.
In
Yeah,
general,
it could be. I'm saying that this is a niche, like right on fleet management.
Yep.
It's not that they don't
I
overlap.
think there's an overlap.
Yeah.
There's some overlap, yeah.
And even in that fleet management, I would say they are primarily into compliance. They are not necessarily into fleet management. Yeah. And even though they are calling fleet management, they are not. Yeah. I'll keep moving here. So this is also 2022. So they have some comments. Keep Trucking app opened the door, and it led to a company that's grown by 75% year over year. I believe them in 2021. It was valued at north of $2 billion with annual recurring revenue of $150 million, again, which is big in SaaS space. And by the end of 2022, it expects to have 4,300 employees. Again, big deal, guys. Now, some more comments. A 2012 congressional act, Khan and McNee, I guess, learned. So that is the names of the founders. Had just directed the Department of Transportation to develop regulations to mandate ELDs. This was a major change and a challenge. And ELD is a little box installed in the truck and connected to the engine. So you have that connectivity that tracks things like driving hours and miles covered. So you have that kind of integration here. It would completely replace the compliance work on the what is that graded paper, I guess. And But drivers bristled at the idea of Big Brother moving into their motor. So that was the resistance that they had, I guess. And he's smiling.
Well, that's what I mentioned at the very beginning was Big Brother, right?
These truckers are not really into government regulation.
No, or anybody watching over their shoulders.
Yeah.
Them and the bikers.
That's right.
Yeah. And I cannot comment right now if TikTok is really watching these trucks or not, but somebody is, I guess. Okay, so I'll keep moving. Beginning in 2017, commercial trucks were required to have ELDs. So that is the regulations. Almost 50% of the global GDP comes from physical economy. So they are talking about physical economy. Again, this is a very new term, at least in my mind. I've never heard that before. Industries like farming, mining, other labor intensive production. But again, in my mind, the right industries are going to be the ones that are maintaining fleets. Manufacturing would not be the right ones for them because they are not in that space. So this is a screenshot of another story, I guess. We don't have anything else here that I want to touch on. But they are into the operating shuttle or at airport, and they have roughly 850 domestic airports, and in that they have a lot of shuttle. So anybody who's going to be in shuttle business is probably going to find value in this as well. Moving right along, 2022, this is a story. Motive, the leader in automated operations, announced the launch of Motive Card. So again, most of the SaaS vendors, somehow they are trying to get into that payment game. A zero fee corporate card for businesses that power the physical economy. The Motive Card is the first corporate card natively integrated with a fleet management platform, giving businesses an all-in-one solution to automate their financial and physical operations. Again, too much marketing fluff that I generally don't appreciate, but a lot of big words there. Powers the physical physical economy by combining telematics data and transaction data in one place. I don't have much here.
Isn't it just trying to get all the financial stuff all in one place as well, like spend management on fuel and giving fuel discounts or taking fuel discounts? I don't know. They get their snacks at the Loves, or whatever. I guess it's all integrated there, and then it's all got the tracking and helps them to say manage fraud. Yeah. Right? They mentioned fraud, which in turn helps with insurance costs, right? Drives the insurance costs down if they keep the fraud down. And I guess because they're monitoring the hours and the, and the fuel consumption and all of that, I mean, they can't just claim it on their little grid paper or whatever. I spent this much in fuel. It's all on the Motive Card or whatever, or on the device. So yeah, I think it's just kind of translating everything into financial benefit and spend management, like you said, Sam, to manage the paying of all of this, the financial activity side.
So let's analyze that for a second then. So, number one, they are probably not going to be in fraud management business, even though now they are going to have data as well as AI, and they can probably do fraud detection. But what they can do is technically they can sell this insight to insurance companies. So that's going to be another revenue stream. Now, government is mandating that. Okay. So now you have access to data. This data does not belong to you. The data belongs to somebody else. But now you have created a revenue stream for you because of government is mandating that. Don't ask me whether that is fair or not. But that seems to be a massive, massive data that you can sell for a lot. Interesting use cases just because of this, to be completely honest. But I mean, I don't know, who decides rules in terms of who owns what, but I mean, technically, this is not your data. Motive is unifying the management of financial and physical operations in one integrated platform. Yeah, I don't have anything else here. I'll move to the next one. So here, this story is they have raised what $150 million regional funding at 2.85 billion valuation, co-led by Insight Partners, one of the largest, private equity there. and then you have the Kleiner Perkins as well. They are part of that, and they are increasing their investments in AI. And it's expand its product suite into spend management and grow its enterprise capabilities. Spend management could be all over the place. They have very small slice of spend management. They are going to get data, but really not the real spend management platform. They have won a lot of different major new customers. They have what? Rosendin, Select Energy. They are into energy and utility business as well because they have a lot of fleet there too. And then Stry USA. I don't really have, and I believe this guy is from OpenAI. Um,
Shoaib
uh,
Makani.
No, this guy, Ilya Fushman, I guess. That was the guy who was with Sam Altman, if I remember.
Oh,
Yeah. No?
another
I don't
good
know.
backer if they got him.
Yeah. Yeah. This is definitely hot, guys.
40. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. You were still reading?
No, I was just looking at the names.
Yeah. All right, so I'll keep moving, some more. So this is, what do we have here? I don't know if I want to hit on something here. So this is the partnership announcement, I guess, with Navy Stars on command connection, telematics and advanced remote diagnostics solutions. So again, they are partnering with a lot of different operational technology solutions because that's where they are getting the data. The strategic partnership will offer two types of integrations. Motive users will be able to streamline their fleet operations by accessing important data about their fleet, including easy to read fault codes descriptions. So again, it's the engine level, analytics that they are able to retrieve. Then they have the severity ratings and recommended parts and services from Navy Stars on command connection platform. These things were deeper. Even the EAM capabilities for transportation was very, very, very deep in general. And I don't know whether you guys know about a company called Diesel Laptops. Obviously, they are getting a little shout out here, but they were into that diagnostic space where a technician could go and they can literally plug in and they will have the whole dashboard thing. So it's a very, very, very fast growing company right now in the transportation space. It's all around the similar topic. Motive customers can expect improved fleet management by accessing data from Navistar's factory installed devices on international trucks. And now they are getting into that international market as well. They are able to get data. These devices offer rich native telematics such as vehicle location, engine hours, tire pressure, brake and cabin temperatures, and lights, status directly from vehicle manufacturer. So again, you are getting directly from manufacturer, and even they have a lot of electronics installed these days at the engine level, so you can get a lot of data.
This
I don't
is
have.
this is. I was just going to say a couple things about that.
Yeah.
One is Navistar is a huge Infor customer.
Yay.
ERP customer. And the second thing is, I think that that's very exciting because of it. It's sort of because they connected those two systems, the on-command system from Navistar. For international trucks, it's specific to a brand, which is the brand under Navistar is International Trucks, and they have also a parts division. So that to me is very exciting because they can sort of dip into the supply chain, if you will, right? So they can, if they're having issues with the truck, it can order parts, things like that. It looks like so that would dip into the supply chain there, and maybe even go into the ERP for the parts or Navistar itself. So I think that's great that they were able to connect those two. But yes, it is for a brand of under Navistar, but I think that's very inventive, ingenious, maybe.
It is. Yeah, great clarification, by the way, about the international truck. I think you are right. You have some background there about this company, so thank you so much for that.
Sure.
If you guys have any other comments, I can take those, or I can keep moving here. Okay, so here, Motive's driver safety solution are eligible to save up to 5% on their Sentry insurance premiums. So they are able to negotiate contracts because they have card. So insurance companies, and I don't know if they are sharing data with them. That could be the reason why they are able to negotiate the contract. In general, there is a lot of synergy there. Yes, and premiums for sharing its ELD data. That's why they are getting the discount. In my mind, I think that's probably win-win. Dashcam data, yeah. But obviously, that is creating a lot of barrier for this company. Platform Science and Motive has announced a partnership to bolster fleet safety better. Motive's artificial intelligence powered dashcams to the Platform Science Marketplace. I don't have much to add there. Platform Science Marketplace officials say that in addition to providing a single destination for fleet safety tools, their partnership with Motive eliminates data fragmentation. Again, not much there. It's just the partnership that they have created. They are creating a lot of different partnerships. So Platform Science, I don't know if you guys have any background on them. No, I don't have anything else here. One more story. Commercial vehicles, a full 360-degree view of their vehicle, its interiors and its surroundings to improve road and job site monitoring. Okay, so they are doing job site monitoring as well and safety. That's why they are into construction, mining, etc. Because they can do that, investigate and combat potentially fraudulent claims. That is going to be related to your EHS. So OSHA is going to be in play here, I guess, and resolve disputes over transportation and handling of valuable cargo and goods. They are talking about that, but seems like they are doing the construction job sites and they are probably going to do manufacturing plants as well, which is a massive, and that's how they are going to get into these enterprise play. Combining this with high definition video and automated alerts with will facilitate exoneration of drivers from false side and real collision claims. And we have commentary from drivers as well that the only reason why they are adopting, even though they feel that they are being watched, is because it's trying to protect them. This is very life threatening. Investigation of cargo theft and passenger incidents and resolution of disputes over loading, unloading of goods and materials. And that is also helping with the vendor negotiation a lot, because sometimes especially in the food and beverage business, if you have to maintain the temperature, you go there, the customer looks at your product and they are going to say, hey, you know what, I don't want this because I'm not getting the temperature that I look for. So you are going to lose a lot of money because of that. So here you have data, and that data they can verify that, hey, it's not my fault, it's your fault. So again, that's a very heavy value add for these companies.
I'll bet the mob doesn't like this very much.
Who?
The mob.
Yeah.
Depending
on,
got cameras monitoring the unloading and loading of goods.
Depending upon their principles, I guess, what they care for.
They have no principles. It's the mob.
Everybody has principles. What are you talking about?
They have principles. They're just different than ours.
Different direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they don't have principles, they'll be crazy. Okay, so I'll keep moving. We have 5 minutes, so I don't know. Let me see if I can open up for comments, depending upon how many comments you guys have. Or do you want to cover some more?
What size of company would this be targeting, do you think, Sam? Large?
No, this is definitely very small. It's
really?
supposed to be very SMB. Yeah.
Oh, is that right? Eh?
Yeah.
So it's reasonably priced as well.
Yeah. Nothing in SaaS is reasonably priced. The only reason why they buy it is because it's easier to adopt.
Right.
To be completely honest. Yeah. But it's definitely, it's very, very, very SMB focused. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I'll do one more, I guess, and then we can probably open up for comments depending upon how many you have. Do you guys need more time or less time?
No, we're good. Good. Go ahead, Sam.
Okay, so I'll do one more. So this is the paving company. Again, this is more into the construction. Okay, so they have fleet of up to 300 vehicles, which is believable. And in my mind, I think this is a sizable company. I don't know if you guys have background on Hardy and Harper. This does seem like a decent sized company. And they have 300, which would be my estimation as well. So here, equipment manager is the one who is buying this. I have taken on several roles that aid in the success of our team and fleet, managing equipment acquisitions, retirements, cost, utilization, and maintenance. Just scratches the surface of what's required. And he has some commentary related to including everything from building and maintaining new injury and illness prevention program. They have acronym for that called IIPP. I don't know who mandates that, but that's a big deal, guys. Scheduling and maintaining, safety training. So again, everything is related to safety. Creating and standardizing processes. Again, measuring KPIs to keep our fleets facilities, employees, and operations safe. So again, that is going through safety. Motive AI dashcam was an indisputable witness to the incident. Okay, so big deal, guys. Again, typically the cameras and videos, they were not um, admissible in the court, I guess, but obviously they respect this. Initially, it wasn't well received by the drivers. Instantly became their best friend. There are many vendors in the space. We requested demos from a few standouts, including our incumbent vendor and Motive, and they are doing a trial, I guess. I don't have much to add there. Okay, so this is an interesting comment here, so I think we should touch on this. So one of our drivers experienced a collision during the trial. A car tried to pass a rig on the right, and then the car's driver panicked and ran into our vehicle. The Motive AI dashcam caught the entire incident. Reviewing the footage was a revelation. So again, huge benefit literally for everybody who is part of this, and that's why they are so hot. So guys, I'll open up for comments.
Well, I think one of the things that really stand out for me is, and it's a comment that Dan made, which is to do with decreasing litigation potential. Therefore, better rates on insurance and things like that. It sounds like a win-win.
And I was only kidding about the mob.
You would never expose your best friend anyways, Dan.
More comments then, I guess.
No, I'm good. This is good.
Okay.
This is kind of the first I knew.
That does make sense. Obviously, the more security you have, the more proof you have. Like, for example, the little example at the end there about the car, it's going to affect your insurance rates. So it's going to save everybody money. So it's probably a positive cash flow investment solution.
If you can be compliant without really doing anything either, because those processes are automated, and that's a huge thing, to be compliant and not worry about it.
No effort.
And in any industry, not just this one,
So, Andy, if you really think about it, it's a jackpot for transportation companies, and the reason why it is a jackpot is because the biggest pain that they had is getting hours from drivers, accurate hours, and that created a lot of operational inefficiencies. Now, not only they are reporting this because it's about their life.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it in relation to a manufacturing company, it's very similar for shop floor employees because they hate filling out time cards.
Yeah.
And they sure hate filling out, doing scanning barcoding. But time cards, at the end of the day, they don't have any idea how much they worked on each project. This is exactly the same thing. It's all done without them having to worry about it.
But in manufacturing, Andy, they are not really bearing the risk. So the shop floor workers.
No. There isn't. I'm just saying, as far as the mental thing about the Druckers not wanting to document all they're doing, it's the same thing as shop floor employees. Right?
Yeah. Completely agree. But here, for drivers, if their license is going to be suspended, their livelihood is dependent upon that. So it's a big deal.
Yeah. Out of business.
Yeah, exactly. More comments, guys, or should we wrap?
No, that's great. Thanks, Sam.
All right, guys.
Thanks for having me on.
Of course, guys. So that's a wrap. If you joined for the first time, this was part of our industry series for which we meet every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you guys are going to be here next week. We are going to come back with another vendor or the solution. On that note, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in today.
See you on Friday, Sam.
See you on Friday, then.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the WBS Podcast. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcasting platform so you never miss an episode. For more information on growth strategies for SMBs using ERP and digital transformation, check out our community at WBS.rocks. We'll see you next time.